What do you think motivates you now and then in comparison to before?
Arms all day, every day. Not
about steroid use as well, like, and it was just open about everything.
Give you kind of like the truthful answer, and then I'm going to give you the useful answer.
So you just admitted that you take your own juice.
If you're a beginner and you don't feel some sort of physical pain after you've worked out.
On the gym partner?
I have, everyone has, they love it. You know, wanting to feel discomfort. And that should be giving you validation in itself.
Train like, you literally have to leave everything on the fucking floor. You have to train extremely fucking hard.
What's up everyone, welcome back to my YouTube channel, it's your boy Chidi again. So today I've got a special video for you guys. I'm going to be doing a sit down chat with my brother.
Well, go on, my guy.
Anthony, aka Dabba
K Kong is my full name.
How did you get that name, by the way? Just
Dabba?
Curiosity, yeah.
So I went to uni.
Dabba Kong.
Dabba K Kong. So I got Dabba, so my full name is Anthony Dabba Shakubaneri. And then Dabba came from me going to uni. And I was introducing myself to people that I used to live with. And then one of them said to me, oh yeah, my actual name is Dabarishi or Dabarishikun. And they were like, well, if you want that, why don't you just shorten it and make it easy for everyone? Start early saying your name is Dabba rather than saying your name is Anthony, because then people start calling you Anthony. So I got from uni maybe 4 years ago, but only the missus, Shay, calls me Dabba now. And then you, of course, call me Dabba.
I knew it would be like obviously linked to it, but then obviously the Dabba Kong is just like a kind of...
And then Dabba Kong is just from, of course, the gym. That's my gym persona, Dabba K Kong, Dabba King Kong. That's when I used to go to the gym really, really hard.
Yeah, that's similar to me then with the Chidi Gains, because my full name is Chidera, and then it's Chidi, and obviously Gains. But yeah, I'll get started with the first question.
Go ahead, man.
So how did you first get interested into fitness, okay? And what motivated you to start your fitness journey?
Yeah, good question. I mean, like, I first started my fitness journey, I would say, when I was 13, so relatively early on. Honestly, I think it was probably just from watching, like, you know, when we were younger, our dad would always put on, like, Rambo, Arnie movies, you know, like the Terminator. And of course, the main characters in those movies always look big, strong, well-rounded. And I think just seeing a lot of superheroes on TV, kind of look at their physique, look how they look like, and you kind of want to build yourself up. I'm sure partly of it as well is probably just wanting to be big and strong, so that when I'm older, people won't pick a fight. Because, you know, when we were younger, me and John used to go for a lot of racism. A lot of people doing racist to us, so I think that probably added to it. Wanted to have a big frame to look strong and to feel strong, so people won't pick on us as much. And then from there, really, we just kind of just training when I first got started with my going in, training arms all day, every day, non-stop. And then as time goes on, you start progressing and different things start motivating you compared to why you started in the first place.
Interesting. So what do you think motivates you now and then in comparison to before?
I think before I went through phases. So when I first got started, I just wanted to get massive. Then when I got into it, people start comparing me to yourself, or they'll compare how I look, my physique, to someone else in my year. And at that point, it was just more competitive because I wanted to be the biggest in my year. I didn't want people to compare me to other people. And then when I went to university, so that would have been like through high school, that was a competitive stage. Then at university, it was more so because you hit 250 kg deadlift before you were 19. So I wanted to hit it before I was 19, so that was my goal. And then now is more so just keep maintaining and just keeping active at the gym. You know, doing some hard work early mornings and setting myself up nicely for the day. I can't train as hard anymore. I train as hard, but not as seriously, I would say, or as focused as I used to, because now I'm self-employed. I work. You know, my work's a bit different now, so that's kind of the priority. And then the fitness is kind of something I know I have to keep doing to maintain myself and keep myself sane, really.
Okay. No, that's, to be fair with me, why I started lifting was kind of obviously similar. I think subconsciously everyone wanted to look like Arnie from all the movies, Rambo and so on. But mine was more to do with sports. I played a lot of rugby. I was an open side flanker, so I was a forward. So for those of you who are not familiar with rugby, forwards are like usually the bigger, stronger ball carriers, and then the backs are the ones who are like more handlers. They pass the ball a lot and do kind of like a lot of like the good-looking work, whereas the forwards are a little bit more like rough and rugged. So you needed to be strong, you needed to be big. So I think I started lifting because of that, because I played it at a decent level. So I wanted to be good at it. So being big and having a good amount of strength was something that you needed. And then obviously as I started lifting, I was influenced heavily by a lot of the bodybuilders and a lot of the fitness influencers on YouTube, like Rich Piana, obviously Jeff Side, Chris Jones, Mike Rashid, all of these OG lifters that still, some of them are still doing it today. Obviously, rest in peace, Rich Piana. He was so funny, man. Honestly, do you remember Rich Piana's
I do
videos?
remember Rich, yeah.
He was a G. I think he was one of the first people who was very, very open about steroid use as well. And he was just open about everything. He was just a very real guy. So that kind of persona, and all those kind of people kind of influenced me to keep lifting and kind of going for it. I'm gonna see a lot of the comments now. Yeah, so you've just admitted that you take urine juice. But yeah. And then started lifting, and obviously I fell in love with it. Once you start seeing the gains, it gets a bit addictive, and you want to start doing more and more of it. I was actually thinking about this the other day, man. Like when you first start lifting, do you remember how much it used to hurt? You were your muscle was in physical pain because your muscle's not used to that stimulus of lifting weights, 8 to 12 reps of doing bicep curls, chest press, barbell press, squats. At that age, your body's not used to that, especially obviously as you naturally age, your structure
for
gets
5 days, entire week.
Yeah, as you naturally age, your structure gets stronger, so you'll be able to deal with it more. But at that age, honestly, oh my God, I remember waking up like this, my chest would be hurting so much.
Yeah.
So yeah, but now, even I had a big back session yesterday, but I'm calm in it. My body's used to it. I still feel the DOMs, and I'm gonna feel it probably worse tomorrow. But the more you do it, the more you get adjusted to it, and I do miss that feeling though, because it lets you know, you've worked very hard, you kind of grafted for it.
Yeah, you kind of feel a bit immobilized. You feel shattered, ruined. For an entire week, your body's aching, you can barely move out. Walking up the stairs, your legs will be shaking, vibrating. I just take each step.
If you're a beginner and you don't feel some sort of physical pain after you've worked out, then there's no way you're doing it right, because at that point in time, that is one of the most sensitive thing to feel. You will feel pain, you will feel tired, you will feel very, very sore. It's especially as a beginner. So make sure that you're feeling sore as a beginner. Obviously, don't overdo it, but that should be the positive feedback that you're getting from your body.
100%.
And it's feeling sore. All right. So how do you approach goal setting in your fitness journey, and how has that evolved? Did you say?
So goal setting. I think when I first got started, so I think there's really three. For me, there's 4 phases of my fitness journey. There's when I first got started. There's when I was going through high school. There was me at university, and then there was me after university or after business.
Yeah.
And when I first got started, honestly, I just enjoyed it. There wasn't really a goal. The goal was just to go and lift and get big. There wasn't really a specific goal. We just literally go to the gym, have a shit ton of fun, get wham as hell, and that was it. Just have a bit of fun. And then from there, the goal, so that was when I just first got started. Then in high school, it was more competitive. I wanted to be the biggest in my year by a mile. I didn't like people comparing me to other people. So I didn't have that competitive mindset, to the point where I would literally be at the gym thinking about other people in my year or my brother whilst I'm doing my sets, and I'll do extra sets, extra reps to failure whilst thinking about those people as fuel. So in my high school era, it was more so about just going to the gym and being the biggest in my year. I wanted to make a statement, and I did. It was fucking sick, to be fair. And then at uni, it was more so strength. I wanted to bench a shit ton. So for me, in terms of how I approach goal setting, it was honestly, it's a bit of a cheat code, and I don't know how applicable it's going to be to other people. But for me, I had my brother, and he was similar frame. So I kind of looked at what's my brother doing, or what weights will my brother lifting at my age, and then I used that as a goal, as a benchmark of, okay, cool, John deadlifted 250 at 18. I need to deadlift 250 at 18. That was just
I didn't even remember if it was 18 or not. So the fact that you remember.
It was 18. Yeah, it was 18.
You were keeping track of it.
So that's kind of how I set my goals. And then in terms of now, for me, it's just going to the gym, keeping stable. I've not got competition. I'm not as competitive, I would say, as I used to be, because I'm competitive in a different space now, which for me is business. But for me right now, so the goal setting is just training 5 times a week, training hard. Definitely to set some more goals though, because it definitely pushes you a lot more. So that's something that I'm currently struggling with the goal setting side, because I'm just maintaining. But what about yourself, mate? What would you say, how you approach goal setting for yourself now?
I think initially it's literally just get big, get strong, chasing numbers. Back in those days, you can gain 20 kg on the bench press, on the deadlift every other week. And like I was literally gaining like 10 kgps every week.
Yeah, I see.
It was mad how like much your body adapts so fast at those early stages. Obviously, you're not able to lift as much as you are now because you plateau over time, or the curve gets a little bit more like this over time. But back then, you were literally just getting better and better, getting PBs all the time. So yeah, it was like chasing numbers, trying to get bigger, to eating loads. It was quite competitive with the people I was training with, so trying to like beat them. And then yeah, there was obviously like later on in my fitness kind of journey, one of my biggest goals was to get 400 kg, and I was chasing that for quite a long time. And in terms of approaching that goal and how I achieved it, I think just watching videos and trying to plan how I'm going to work out to achieve it. So if you've got like a goal where it pertains to gaining more strength or like getting to a particular lift, you want to almost kind of reverse engineer it. Okay, so I need to get to 300. This is my current PB. This is what I'm currently doing. How can I get to 400 kg? So, okay, so I need to gain a bit of muscle. I'm skinny. I need more muscle to be able to actually lift the weights. So you do that for a little while, you eat, you gain the muscle that you need. And then you say, okay, so I can't train at 90% all the time, 100% all the time. So what I need to do is I need to start off slowly, like progressively overload, and then with time, I can slowly start increasing the amount of weight that I'm doing. Time the deloads as well. So you need to be making sure that you're recovering, because fatigue management was such a massive part of getting 400 kg. You can't be smashing it all the time. And you just have like, basically what I'm trying to say is have a periodized training, meaning have a training regimen where you're following specific numbers, and you have numbers put in where you're resting, you've got a deload, and you're progressively overloading over time. And if you do this, you will gain strength. Muscle's a little bit different because there's diet involved, there's obviously the different rep ranges that you need to do as well. But yeah, those are the main kind of ways that I achieved that goal. Now my goals are a little bit different. Obviously, I had the goal of competing in powerlifting as well, and like thankfully I managed to do well in that. If you haven't seen that video, by the way, I'm going to link it up here, so check it out. But then now I'm more towards bodybuilding. I want to compete in bodybuilding. And remember in the past I said, oh yeah, I don't really want to step on stage. Posing on stage is a bit like, yeah, I can't be bothered to do that. But the more I've like spoken to people and the more I assess my physique and the opportunity that I think it would bring, I think I definitely want to compete just to test myself. A lot of people say that cutting and prepping is a very tedious task and is very mentally draining, more mental than physical, but it's something that I feel like I want to do, and to like take that, kind of like take it off the bucket list. Because I think I'll probably regret it if I don't, like just being in the gym for all these days. Everyone says I've got a decent physique, so yeah. Someone that Australian guy, don't I? Yeah, I have, everyone has, they love it.
But I suggest you go away and take a good long hard look at yourself.
I have. Everyone has. They love it.
But yeah, that's something that I want to do. And yeah, I'm gonna do that this year. So you guys are gonna be seeing that coming this year. But yeah, that's basically how I approach goal setting, to be honest. I think just set a goal and try and go for it. When I don't have a goal, that's when I feel the most lost. And I do sometimes like having a break is good because you give it time. You give yourself time to recover. Like even more recently, I am going to compete, and I'll have news coming up soon. But as soon as I knew exactly like what time frame it is, like yesterday was like the first time that properly like sunk in, and my session was dialed in, mate. Like I was like so focused, just because I know that I'm going to be competing. I'm going to like competition mode where like my focus is ridiculous. Like I can just do reps and reps and reps and reps, because I can tap into that area of my brain where I know that I'm doing this for something rather than just here to lift. All right, what keeps you motivated to stay consistent with your workout and healthy habits?
It's quite tricky. I feel like, you know, I watch so many videos where you have like YouTubers who talk about goal setting, or they talk about like being consistent at the gym and whatnot. And I'm gonna give you kind of like the truthful answer, and then I'm going to give you the useful answer. So the truthful answer is I don't try to keep myself motivated. I just go to the fucking gym. Like I don't.
Yeah.
I'd have to keep myself motivated to go to the gym because it's part of my routine. I've been doing it for so long, so I have to think about it. It doesn't require energy. It requires energy not to go to the gym. Like it feels weird not going to the gym. So that's the truthful answer. But of course, it's not useful. If you're someone who struggles with motivation, that doesn't mean shit to you. So in terms of a useful one, I would say find a gym partner. Find a gym partner who you know is going to keep you accountable, who's going to be there and is going to push you forward. And then what else I would say is, it doesn't matter. Like, and then just find like a consistent time that you're going as well, because it needs to be part of your routine. It needs to be part of your routine. So number one, find a gym partner. Number two, it needs to be part of your routine. And number three, pick a rival. So pick someone who's in your friendship group who either has been at the gym for a couple of years, but you have similar frames, and then have that person as a rival, someone who's going to egg you on, who's going to motivate you. That's not someone who keeps you accountable. It's not your gym partner, but someone at the gym that you see their physique, you think, I reckon I could be either look the same or I could look better than them, and that will keep you motivated to keep pushing, to keep coming in, because you know when you're not there, when you skip a session, they're now there at the gym working hard, training. And then in terms of benefits of having a gym partner, it's just a lot more fun. It's just a lot more fun when you're just getting started. When it's just on your own, you're not in that serious phase where you need to be at the gym, so you go. It's just about keeping it fun, keeping it enjoyable, having the routine be something that you look forward to. Having it consistent in your routine just makes it easier to maintain longer term. And the third part, the rivalry, if anything like me and John, you like a bit of competition. So be competitive and just force your own rivalry and make that push you on to keep at the gym. That's what I would say.
Yeah, I'll probably just back everything that you've just said. I don't think I can really touch on anything more. Yeah, 100%. I agree with everything you've said. Do you have any mental tricks at the gym? And also, how do you see the connection between mental health and the physical fitness?
Yeah, great question. How about you take this one, mate? What I guess, what are some mental tricks that you have, and how do you think, fitness
to keep me consistent? To keep me pushing. What mental tricks do I have? I think I don't know. I've always just had like a sense of drive and almost want to become better and become like stronger at the gym. I think that maybe stems from my childhood and like stuff that we went through. Obviously, coming to the UK, there's a lot of like bullying, racism, this, that, and the other. So we almost had like a chip on my back. But besides that, though, I think I've always just been very competitive. So I've always wanted to like be strong, be fast. We were very into athletics and all of that kind of stuff. So it's something that I wouldn't say I've really struggled that much with in terms of kind of keeping myself mentally wanting to do it. I want to be here, and I think the days that I'm not here are more the days where I feel like I need to get here, because if I'm not at the gym for more than a week, my head starts to I'm like, I need to come to the gym. So I don't feel, for me, that hasn't really been a problem. But in terms of tricks that you can use that are going to be valued, because obviously everyone's different, like I said, have a bit of competition, have someone that you can kind of look towards to push you, because I think that's very important. Have a training partner, have a goal. Having a goal is very important. Keeping yourself accountable, take things off the list. What mental tricks do I do? Self-talk is huge as well. You need to have positive self-talk. What you tell yourself.
Bro, I literally talk to myself at the gym.
You need to be chatting to yourself, saying, "Yeah, this is easy."
Not in your head, like out loud.
Yeah, literally say it out loud as well. They're like, "Come on, let's have it. Let's get this." So there are tricks like this, but in terms of tricks, like, you just got to get here. You just got to do it. You need to almost leverage wanting to feel kind of pain and wanting to feel discomfort. And that should be giving you validation in itself, almost. Like, when I have a really tough set, by the end of it, I'm like, yeah, I know, I'm proud of myself for being able to do that. And then that makes me go again. And it's almost like a reflexive cycle, isn't it?
100%.
So yeah, that's how I would answer that question. What about you?
Yeah, I'd say the same thing. I think self-talk, talking out loud, motivating yourself and recognise that you're your best friend and your worst you are your best friend and you are your worst enemy, you know. So I think when you're at the gym, it's really important that you motivate yourself, you talk to yourself, you gas yourself up. Like I tell myself, like, look, you're a bad man, you can fucking do this, you know, like. And you have to tap into what you want in life, or you have to tap into the things that are missing from your life and use that as motivation. You know, prove to yourself that you're deserving of the things that you want in life in the gym. So for me, that might be like, okay, I'm trying to grow my business. If I'm training at the gym, I'm thinking about my business and where I want to be. And I'm using that visualization as fuel at the gym, and I'm just thinking about it, and it's making me hungrier for it, and it's making me want to put in more effort for it because I'm showing that I deserve it. So for you, that might be the gym, it could be your physique, it could be a broken heart, it could be you wanted to make it big with some, like, as a YouTuber, whatever the fuck it is. Anchoring, training hard to a specific thing that you want out of life, and it could be your physique, but it could also be just other things happening in your life.
You need to tap into a pain point. What makes you angry? Like, I think people have the best sessions where they're either really happy or they're really angry or really sad. You need to tap into that. I think Michael Jordan used to, like, in terms of his competitive nature, the way that he used to drive himself was think of someone that said something like slightly negative, or he'll make an enemy of some random person that said that he wasn't great, and like he'll use that to fuel him. So kind of figure out a way of tapping into your mind and being able to leverage your mind to use it as fuel. At the end of the day, it's your mind and it's your body, so you know how best to motivate yourself, and positive self-talk is definitely a massive way of doing that as well. What type of workouts do you enjoy the most and why?
That's a tricky one, really. Like, I feel like
you're mainly just bodybuilding, aren't you?
Yeah, I'm mainly just bodybuilding, really. I did enjoy strength training, but I feel like I liked strength training because it felt like a lazy version of bodybuilding.
But there's still different types of training in bodybuilding. Like push-pull legs, upper lower, bro split.
Yeah, I just think
like
different
types
split,
of training,
really.
like supersets. Like talking to that a little.
Yeah. I guess, like, for me, I like supersets. I've got to do supersets more so from a muscle fatigue perspective, getting the muscle really worn down, getting the most reps out of it, hitting two body parts at the same time, and of course the time efficiency side of things. I'm not trying to be here at the gym for 2-3 hours. Back in the day when I was in high school, then I had all that time to kill, or when I was in uni, then I could do it. But ever since uni, like, I haven't got the time to stay here for 2-3 hours. So having like supersets goes a long fucking way. Something I haven't been doing as much that I need to start doing a bit more of though is and I do a shit ton of drop sets. I love drop sets. Again, just getting that fatigue, getting the muscle burnt out, getting the high reps in. And then something I need to do more of is sets of failures. I don't do anywhere near as much, but definitely need to, because when I was running back in the day and you would train like a maniac, you'd be so fucking exhausted. Like, mate, when I used to do, John, I'm gonna send you a picture that you can put up to show people. This is my legs when I was 19. Okay. And if most people saw that, they'd be like, whoa, that's insane. How did that happen? Well, how it happened was, this is my first set. So this is my first exercise, training legs. I'll get on squat, I'll do 60, then I'll do 100, then I would do 140.
How many reps?
So yeah, it's a great question. So 60, I'll do 12 reps. 100, I'll do 12 reps. 140, I'll do 5 reps. 180, I'll do 2 reps. 200, I'll do 2 reps, and then I'll drop back down to like 150. I'll do 140. I'll do 5 sets of 12 reps. Then I'll drop to 100, do 2 sets of 12 reps. Then I'll drop to 60 and do 2 sets of like 20 reps.
Okay, it's like a pyramid set scheme. You're going up and then going all the way down.
Yeah, and it was just like the mix of volume, heavy weights, and just a shit ton of volume.
All right. And that's really good, like in terms of intensity wise. There's a lot of stimulus, a lot of volume. When we started, I think that's what we've got such a good foundation, like in terms of our physique. I used to do a lot of volume, like a lot. Like I'm talking
like a disgusting
7-8 exercises. Like
for one body part.
When we first started, we would literally just be doing like so many different exercises for one body part, couple of body parts. Obviously, like the science base says, okay, maybe this is not enough, or
I think that's cap, you know. I think that's cap.
I think you need to be able to give your body enough stimulus for where it's actually growing. And a lot of people don't train hard enough. They rely on like, the science too much. Where you need to train hard to grow.
I think that's a pussy's mentality if you're going to the gym and not training hard enough. And I think there's a lot of people out there who don't actually have a perspective of how much volume you have to do to get to a certain size or a certain strength.
And a lot of people don't understand rate of perceived exhaustion as well.
No.
Like, I think those scientific data might be accurate, but they're talking like if you're actually doing like RPE 9-10. A lot of you are trying to follow that, you're doing like RPE 6-5. Like, you need to know where your 10 is. You need to find out where your 10 is, know what maximal exhaustion feels like, where you're actually shouting, doing a barbell curl, really trying to get the reps in, doing the chest press.
Absolutely.
Some of you don't know what that feels like, and to like rely on training with a lower intensity and lesser exercises whilst doing suboptimal up and rate of perceived exhaustion, then you're not going to grow. Like, you need to have intensity. That's one of the biggest factors of your training.
You need to be screaming at the gym.
To train like Arnie, Dorian Yates, Tom Platz, Lee Priest. Have you seen the training sessions? It's like they look like they're going into war. But nowadays people care too much about looking pretty, looking nice, not really giving it enough intensity. But in terms of my training, obviously I did the bodybuilding stuff, I did a lot of the strength training as well. I try and incorporate a lot of like, not as much as I should now, to be honest, but I've started to incorporate a little bit more supersets, drop sets. I think I used to do it a lot more when I was doing more hypertrophy. Obviously powerlifting is a little bit different.
Yeah.
That being said, guys, everyone that goes to the gym, there's a lot of information out there now to do with training. Then everyone knows what rep range you need to be doing to gain muscle. Everybody knows you should be doing at least 3 to 4 sets. Everybody knows what good form looks like. You need to do more than that to be able to grow and actually stimulate growth in the muscle. Like you need to be doing supersets, drop sets, sets through failure, giant sets. You need to be doing all of these things, like make it different, partial reps. There's been a lot of studies that have shown now. I know we said they speak about studies, but I think this is important because I think a lot of people might see someone doing a partial rep and be like, oh, that's not doing anything, what are you doing? But a lot of studies have actually shown that doing partials actually allows you to stimulate a lot more muscle growth, especially after your full set. So partials, all of these kind of training philosophies, you see a lot. You see Sam Sulek doing this a lot of partials. All of these training philosophies, you need to try and incorporate them into your training to have an edge, because it's not good enough just knowing the rep ranges and what exercises to do. You need to, the mentality is the massive. The mentality is huge, and being able to know how to leverage intensity, which is what all of these training principles allows you to do, is also a massive part of it as well.
Well, if you think about it, I think that, again, just to give people perspective, you know the example I gave earlier when I was training legs?
Yeah.
I think I worked out how many reps I actually was doing, and it came to, my maths might be a little bit off here, and you can correct it if I am wrong. I think it came to like 200 reps.
Yeah.
Something like that. I did like 12 sets. Yeah, I wouldn't know how many.
12 sets?
Yeah, I did 12. Bro, listen. I don't think you actually heard what I said when I said it earlier. Listen to me, bro. Wait. I did 60. Okay. Then I'll do 100 for one set for 12 reps. Mm-hmm. Then I'll do 140.
Okay.
Then I'll go up to 180.
How many reps?
So 140 would be when I was working up would have been 5 reps. Okay. Yeah. Then at 180 it would have been 2 reps. Okay. Then at 200 it would have been 2 sets of 2 reps. Okay. Yeah. Then I'll drop back down to like 140 or 115. Yeah. Do 5 sets of 12 reps. Yeah. And then I'll drop down to 100, 2 sets of 12 reps. Yeah. Then I'll drop down to 60 and 2 sets of 12 reps.
A lot of you won't even like
that won't be
clock out.
That won't. Well, no. A lot of people will go to the gym and they want their leg session wouldn't have equated to the reps that I would have done on my first exercise.
Yeah, exactly.
Does that make sense? What I'm trying to say?
I know what you mean.
So again, I'm saying this because I think it's important to really have like perspective on what training hard actually looks like. Yeah. Like, bro, when I say to you, I was exhausted. I was like, after training my first session, like my legs would be done, like dead. Yeah.
You can't be able to walk up. You need to be limping. Going up the stairs should be hard. Sitting down to have a shit should be hard. Exhausted. After your leg sessions. Mate, bodybuilding is hard, man. With powerlifting, you do get intense kind of leg trainings, but with bodybuilding, that hypertrophy,
it's ridiculous. You have to go places in your mind.
What do you think the most important thing to learn to be successful at the gym is?
Just fucking hard work.
We've touched about this already.
That one's pretty simple. Just train train like a maniac, train like you're about to like go into war, train like you literally have to leave everything on the fucking floor. You have to train extremely fucking hard. Like it's not, there's nothing else. Just train very fucking hard. Literally, there's no truer saying in the gym than no pain, no gain. Like you have to be in excruciating levels of pain, and to be able to push through that pain, you have to anchor the pain you're going through. In order to get to a particular size, you have to work hard. There's no truer statement than no pain, no gain. And when you're feeling that maximal level of pain, in your own mind, because the pain you're feeling in your body is extremely strong, you have to tap into a life pain, something you're going through personally, a heartbreak, a fucking goal you want to reach, a deficiency you have, childhood fucking trauma, I don't care what it is, but you have to anchor something extremely painful, more painful than your physical pain, to push through the physical pain. Because inputs equals outputs. There's an equal and opposite reaction to everything. So to get to that level where you are able to really push through, it needs to be anchored to something equally as painful, or if not even more painful.
Yeah, 100%. I think you got me amped up for this session that we're gonna do.
Do you know what I mean? Like you literally, think about it. You literally have to anchor a pain.
Some people really struggle with trying to like motivate themselves. Like I'm just thinking like, just think about being the best person, man. Like just think about being the. I don't know
being a complete
how
loser.
else to put it. Just think about either or. Like something has to drive you. Either your idealized self has to drive you, or the person that you really don't want to be has to drive you to get the fuck away from there.
I think
so it needs to be a combination of both, to be honest. Have the most amount of pull,
100%.
but you need to be able to leverage your head. Actually sit there
you
and
can manipulate your mind to do whatever you want when you're in the gym.
How you can manipulate your mind towards having as much output as possible. If you got anything out of that video, I really enjoyed doing that video with my brother.
Absolutely.
Hopefully more in the future. I like having these sit-down chats. If you got something out of this video, leave a like down below. Subscribe to the channel if you're new. This is your first time and you're just listening to us speak or me speak for the first time. Welcome. This channel is about growing, starting the journey, and obviously continue the journey of doing bodybuilding and doing fitness. And I'm going to continue to upload and try and give as much value as I can. So yeah, stick with the journey and join us for the journey. But yeah, I'm going to put a video up here. If you enjoyed this video, I think you're going to enjoy this one as well. So click on that and watch it. But that's the end of the video, guys.
Absolutely.
Peace.